morning, Ms. Bedekar.
Good morning, sir.
I would request you to talk about women in trade union field.
Actually, sir, I am extremely honored to be talking to you on this topic because I have seen through your blogs and I have seen the kind of videos you have put up. The people who have spoke to you earlier have been really, illustrious people who have done immense good work in this field. Compared to them, I am nothing. I am just a student, and I am honored that you are giving me this opportunity to speak about women. But I take the liberty and I take this opportunity because none of them have spoken about women. So, so I am very happy to talk about it. What I want to say is that in India for past many decades, women have been working, and the number of women working has gone up every year. There are more girls going to school than ever in India, and there are more women working than ever in India. And most of them belong to the unions. Wherever there are unions, they are union members. The women pay their subscription. They take part in morchas, and most of the time the union leaders or the union management people will be putting the women in front of a morcha because that gives good coverage in media. And but at the same time, the women also follow the union directions, whether it is strike or work to rule or whatever. But there is really very small percentage of women in decision making bodies. Union has, all the good unions have several structures within them, and in all those structures the women in those structures is the percentage is very
So
low.
what could be the reasons, and what are unions doing to get them into the main flow of decision making?
The reasons are manifold. I mean, our conditioning and our society, the family obligations, all this is stopping, and especially the time spent on different things. All these because women have, our society has the paternalistic arrangements, so obviously it follows that several of the family obligations are obligations of the woman, so wherever she is. So obviously she cannot spare much time for the union activities, for the union meetings. But having said that, I don't see that any union making conscious effort. I'm sure there must be some unions. I'm not really exposed to all this information, but very few unions are doing any conscious effort to bring women forward or to groom them to take up the responsibilities. You just cannot appoint a woman on a position. She needs to be equipped to hold that position.
Right.
Therefore, she needs to be exposed from the beginning in all the working or the management part of the union. And this opportunity will come only if the woman participates in the union committees right from the unit structure. Then only she can be exposed, she can learn on the job, and she can develop herself into a leader. But this opportunity is denied, or I won't say it is denied, but very few women are given such opportunities. And this has to be done. From you asked about what union can do. So I feel that the unions should sit down, think about their percentage of women members, their contribution, and then go in for active planning to have more women in the mainstream of the union.
Yes. Madam, you were also president of the State Bank of India Union.
Mumbai Circle.
Mumbai Circle. And later you were also president of at UniApro, right?
Yes.
So tell us more about your experience there. And you once told me that you got the certain procedure manual or constitution changed. Talk about it, please.
Oh, okay. Well, I was president of State Bank of India Staff Union Mumbai Circle briefly for about 15 months before I voluntarily retired from the State Bank of India. And my days in union I have very pleasant memories, because the kind of comradeship which exists in unions, and because of the kind of encouragement which was given in my union for the women working, was amazing. I am a student of globalization and labor, and I have opportunity of studying or looking at the unions, and I feel that the kind of opportunities which were given to me were quite unique in the context. And it was very pleasant to learn. It was very good for us to be talking to the management and then talking to the members and women. And I'm very happy to say that whenever I was first woman assistant general secretary of my union, and in that capacity I encouraged women to take up unit level responsibilities. We have unit secretaries in our union, and I encourage women to take up the responsibility of unit secretaryship, because the women knew very well how to speak to the branch manager, how to argue their cases, but they were afraid of taking up this responsibility because they felt they may not be able to spare the time. So I encourage them, and I'm very happy to say, when I was assistant general secretary of Mumbai zone, one of the zones in Mumbai, there were many women who were encouraged and who took up the responsibility of unit secretary. I think that is a very happy result that I saw. That is one thing I like.
Must have been of your making. But tell us more about now UniApro.
Yes, sir. I don't say it is of my making. Union is all collective effort. So I was just a part of it, and I encouraged it in my capacity. But unless all the other conditions were favorable, this would not have happened. So I cannot take the credit for it, but I'm happy for it. And another thing is that I was also at that time, State Bank of India, All India State Bank of India Staff Federation was affiliated to Uni Global Union. It continues to be an affiliate today also. And I was sent for some of the training programs to represent the federation for the uni training programs. And there I was selected as a resource person. And in the capacity of resource person for the trade union training for women, I have traveled to many countries and participated as a resource person in trade union activities, training.
I think one look at your Facebook page tells us that you had been to several countries.
Yes, sir, that's just part of the job. So that was when I was in State Bank of India. And then after, at that time, I was again I was president of Uni Asia Pacific Women Committee. And that is until I retired from the bank. That also was again for some time. Maybe I guess it was just about 18 months or so. But I am happy to say that at that time, Alice Chang was the Equality Department Director in Uni Asia Pacific, and she encouraged me and she supported me in every way, because I was not exposed to the Global Union Federation work and dealing with different nationalities, unions and all that. But Alice gave me a tremendous support, and I could discharge my duties as best as I could.
Can you tell us something about issues of people in service industry? I think Uni Global is focusing mainly on service industry, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, Uni Global Union is it is basically a service sector union federation, global union federation. All the sectors of uni, that is finance, telecommunication, postal and logistic, hair and care, casino, all of these are covered under the service sector. as far as service sector goes, the service sector has been really hit very hard with the technology. Whether you take postal and logistics, or whether you take the insurance sector, or whether you take the banking sector or telecommunication sector, all have been there has been an onslaught of technology.
Yeah.
As much as globalization, the technology changes have also affected the working in this sector.
Right.
And the trade unions have in as a result of this, the trade unions have, some of the trade unions in some of the parts of the world have lost their membership, or some of the jobs have changed to such an extent that you cannot recognize that it was the job in that sector earlier.
Yeah.
So these changes, the technological changes have come very fast. And let me say that neither the membership nor the trade union leadership were very well equipped or well prepared to combat or to absorb the changes at the fast pace.
Yeah.
And therefore they have been the trade unions are in a position that today all their energies are absorbed in combating these changes.
Right.
And facing these day-to-day challenges.
Right. Right. Thank you very much.